So today we will revise together MIAD 801. And the MIAD 801 talks about research methodology. So the MIAD 801 talks about the research methodology. And today we will just try to discuss about revise the module 1. The handout has 3 modules. So imagine that if you understand module 1, the other modules easier for you to understand. So, and most of our CBT in examination come from module 1. Most of them come from module 1. The CBT question. So if you understand, it's going to be easier for you. So let me just off this. Let me just mute Sorry, I've moved So now we want to discuss about research. What we just have to note is that research is the backbone of academic work and sound decision making. So research is the backbone of academic work or sound decision making, particularly for us doing course related to international relations, diplomacy, politics, and the likes. So no decision can be made in our field without making research. Look at people in the House of Representatives, the judiciary arms of government, or the executive arms of government. They make research before they can make a decision. You don't have to guess before you do. You make a decision because it involves a systematic approach of analyzing data and giving a conclusion. You analyze data systematically to bring out a conclusion. So this particular course is introducing us to how we can do research. And I believe that there is no field on this earth surface that does not have an aspect where they do research. There is no field. So far as people are there, they are doing something, research have to be there. Understand? So for us to understand this particular course, we need to first understand the concept research. What is research? Listen, the research is coined from 2 words, which is re, this is R and E, re, and search. So without even knowing the definition of research, if you try to divide this word into 2, re and search, you will be able to know the meaning of what we mean by research. So re means R-E, which is re, the 2 letters that start the word research, means again. It means again. Why search means to look into. You understand? So if you coin these 2 words together, etymologically, research means to look into something again. So without even trying to go deeper into the meaning of research, the 2 words, just coin the 2 words together. By coining the 2 words together, we just come with the word to look into something, to search something again, to look into something again. You understand? So in the academic field that we have, research is a systematic and logical process of investigating something. I repeat myself. In this academic field that we have, research is a systematic and logical process of investigating something. That something is a problem. So a systematic and logical process of investigating a problem to gain a new knowledge or verify an existing knowledge. I repeat myself again. Research is a systematic and logical process of investigating a problem to gain a new knowledge or verifying an existing knowledge. And then it is not just about just reading book, like the lecturer asking a question, giving you assignment, you just read about it and you just write it. It has to pass through a process which we call a systematic process. You collect evidence, you analyze evidence, and you draw a conclusion. That is why in any assignment they give you in this particular course, you must have conclusion. You must bring out a conclusion. So if the lecturer given an assignment in this particular course and you just submit the assignment without bringing out a conclusion, that means your research is not complete. So it involves collection of data or collection of evidence. You collect information online. You collect information from library. You collect information from anywhere or any source you have. So after collecting information, that evidence, you analyze it. And after analyzing it, you draw a conclusion. And sometimes you can give a recommendation. Sometimes you can give a recommendation after your conclusion. So what you just have to note is that research is about three major things, three very, very important things. Am I communicating? I don't know whether you can hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So research is about three major things, three most important things that research is involved. The number one is asking the right question. Asking the right question. Let me just give you an example now. Why is it that the rate of unemployment in Nigeria is affecting the Nigeria economy? You understand? You ask that question. Out of curiosity, you come with the second point, finding the right answer using systematic method. That's the second thing research involves. You're finding answers using systematic method. So far as you've asked question in that first point, the second point comes with an answer. But you just don't give answer by guessing. In research, we don't guess. Research doesn't involve guessing. Yeah, maybe you see, when a lecturer asks a question in this particular kind of study, you don't say I think. When you say I think, it's like you are guessing. No, you have to come up with a systematic answer. You can make a reference to maybe a newspaper, or you can make a reference to maybe something you watch on Facebook, on YouTube, or anywhere. You make reference to something, but you don't just guess, because research doesn't involve guessing. Understand? Number three is contributing to knowledge or solving a real life problem. See, most of the assignment the lecturers give us, we submit the assignment. Listen, although it's not solving a problem right now, but it's contributing to something. It's contributing to an existing knowledge, because we are not the first person that treat that particular question that the lecturer gives us. So our own contribution is also adding a block to the vast knowledge that is online. Understand? Now, I want to give an example now. Let's look at when we study why is it that social media influence voters' decision? When there is election in Nigeria, you will know that politicians will come online on social media, they will campaign online. And what they are doing online, they study voters' behavior. They know that if they go on social media, they will touch more youths. So that question, you ask the question, why is it that social media influence voters' behavior? That is the first thing, question. The second thing is, we have to find an answer. But that answer we will find, it's not going to be a guessing. We are not guessing now. We'll now use systematic or logical method to find an answer. And that answer we'll find will give us a practical solution to something, a problem, or we add to a particular knowledge. So if you are working with a politician now and you want to campaign, you want to design a campaign project for the politician, Understand? You should be able to know how to conduct your research in order to bring out a campaign project. Understand? I do that a lot when it's election period. So I know how to put that campaign outside. So when there's an election, I know how to put that campaign outside. I know what to touch, which area to touch. But before I touch that area, I must do I must pass through systematic and logical approach. I must analyze some things. Am I communicating?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So there are some scholars that also define research. You understand? There is one scholar that is called Young, the same Young, Younge, in 1960. This Young is a social scientist. He defined research. He described research as a scientific activities. He defined research as a scientific activities using logical and systematic method to discover new facts or verifying existing one. I will repeat myself. He, on his own part, he said the research is using scientific method or scientific activities. All right. Can I continue?
Yes, you can.
So using scientific activity or scientific method to to discover a new fact or verifying existing one. You understand? So it involves two things. This definition involves two things. When you do research, is either you want to bring out a new knowledge, something that people don't, or you want to contribute to something that has been existing online. You understand? So you don't just do research without purpose. You must have a purpose. It's either you want to contribute to existing knowledge or you want to bring out a new knowledge. That is about his own definition of research. Now, in the educational field of study, there is also a philosopher. This philosopher name is Creswell. C-R-E.
Can you slow down a bit?
Yeah. Thank you for calling my attention to it. I love it. So just in case you see I'm fast, just tell me that I'm fast. I'll just slow down. So that's why we are here to help ourselves.
All right. I'm fine.
Okay. So in the academic field of study, in education, there is one philosopher. His name is Creswell. So Creswell in 2012 he defined research as posing question, that is asking question and involving data and presenting answer. His own definition of research is posing question, collecting data, and presenting answer.
Okay, got it.
So his own definition is posing question, collecting data, and presenting answers. That is his own definition of research. Now, based on his own research, let's look at this, his own research. You ask question, you collect data. In research, when we say data, we mean information. You understand? When we say data, we mean information. So his own definition of research is posing question, collecting data, and providing an answer. Now, let's ask ourselves, why is it that in some states they have poor performance in WAEC, while some states have higher grades, higher performance in WAEC? You understand? So that is posing question. We ask the question number one. The second thing, what is the second thing that we need to do after asking question?
Collect data.
Collecting
The
data.
second thing should be to
And information.
systematic collecting of information. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We collect data, we collect information to know why is it that maybe in Oshogbo, in Imo State, in Kaduna, why is it that the result of work is down? Understand? And that data we have will provide an answer. That answer will help us know how to prevent such in the next week. So research is either it adds to existing knowledge or it gives you a solution to some problems. So this is about its own definition of research. Am I communicating?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So despite the differences in their own definition of research, there are three things that all the definition of research include in the world. There are three things all the definitions of research include. They may use different words, but they have the same meaning. The number one thing that all the definition of research include in the world is, number one thing is it involves systematic inquiry. It involves systematic inquiry. You ask question. Why is it that this is this? Why is it that this is that? Understand? You ask systematic inquiry. You inquire about something. The number two is it seeks to understand a particular problem. When you do research, you seek to understand something. What is going on with this topic? What is going on with this topic? Understand? So, and it is based on evidence. Answers is always based on evidence, not guess. In research, you give evidence, you don't guess. That is why in all assignment that they give you, you must give reference. If you don't give reference, that means it is not an academic work. You must give reference because that reference is your evidence. Without the reference, you don't have any evidence. Am I communicating? So that's what some lecturer will say, bring APA reference type or bring Harvard reference type, because they know that reference, they can link your work to that reference directly. Understand? Now, we move forward now. Let's talk about objectives of research. What are the aims of research? Why do we do research? Understand? So the first reason why we do research is to gain new insights, to gain new knowledge. Understand? To gain new knowledge. You do research to get new knowledge. See, like you actually, before you do your research, you ask a question. And that question, if not answer, you will be blocked. You will be blocked. You will not move forward. So you need to answer that question. By answering that question, you get new knowledge about that particular thing. So the number two is to describe a phenomenon. You describe a particular problem, a particular issue in the society. That's the second aims of why we do research. You describe a phenomenon. Understand? For instance, now, why is it that there is too much traffic in Lagos? And how can we reduce the traffic? So you describe a phenomenon. Why is it that in some part of Nigeria there is low traffic? Why is there in Lagos there is too much traffic? So with research, you describe a phenomenon. And number three is you establish a relationship. Now, I want to explain this. You establish a relationship. You see, what is the relationship between poverty rate in Nigeria and crime rate in Nigeria? What is the relationship between poverty rate in Nigeria and crime rate in Nigeria? You know, for someone to say you want to go and steal, probably is hungry. Understand? So, because a normal person that is not hungry will not just wake up and say, I want to go and sleep. So what is the relationship between poverty rate in Nigeria and crime rate in Nigeria? So in most cases, research also shows relationship of something with something. Understand? Why is it that the turnout of elect voters in the rural area, like in the village, why is it that people don't go out to vote in the village, and in the city, people go out to vote more? So it is research that show the relationship.
But can I, in that poverty rate correlation to crime, there are some indices, though slimmer, where people from a wealthy home also steal.
Thank you very much. Okay? That is where your research will lead you, that it's not only poverty that will make people steal. That is where your research will come to conclusion. In research, you have conclusion. You say, although it's true that poverty contributes to higher crime rate in Nigeria, but there are some other factors that also contribute to crime rate. That is where you will mention that example you bring. And so that's why we say research is systematic approach. You don't just guess on, you just don't base your research, your information on one side. You look at this side and you look at the other side also. So you mentioned that some people are rich, but they still. Why some people, they are poor, they steal. So what is the correlation? That is part of the work of research. Understand? So the number 4 is to test hypotheses. Understand? For instance, now, the education level, let me just take an example now. I'm sorry, but I just need to take this example. In some part of the north, the Western education is not that valued. So you now do a research. Why is it that people don't share Western education in some part of the north? So you want to test hypothesis. You want to know the problem that is happening to this. So the 4th thing I mentioned is the objective. The first objective is to gain knowledge. What's the second objective?
You establish a relationship.
What?
You establish a relationship.
Establish a relationship. Thank you very much. What's the third one?
The third one, establish a relationship.
What's the second one then?
Describe a particular issue.
Phenomenon.
Yeah, describe a particular.
Describe the phenomenon.
What's the 4th one?
Okay.
Hypothesis.
Thank you very much.
Hypothesis.
Thank you very much. So the objectives, these are the objectives of research. Some of the research can have 1 or 2 of the objective, while some can have all encompasses. You understand? Now we move forward. If you don't understand, you can ask me to go back. I'll go back, but in case you don't ask me to go back, I'll be moving forward. Yeah. So now, what is the importance of research? What is the importance of research? Understand?
Hi, sorry. Hello, sorry, I'm just joining. I don't know, what did you guys just list now? Good evening, everybody. Sorry,
We talked about the objectives of research.
Okay.
Can someone?
Okay. You said test hypothesis, establish relationship. I didn't get the third one.
The phenomenon. Ask the right question.
To describe a phenomenon.
Yeah.
To gain a new knowledge, that's number 1. Number 2, describe a phenomenon or a problem. Number 3, establish a relationship. Number 4, to test the hypothesis.
Okay, thank you very much. I've gotten it. Thank you.
Okay, so we move forward now. What is the importance of research? You see, there are a lot of important, like many importance of research, rather. There are many importance of research, but I'll just discuss about 3. And because this 3 is common in all research. The number 1 is it adds to knowledge. Research adds to knowledge. Because research helps us to contribute to existing knowledge or to get a new knowledge. Understand? So it adds knowledge. So all research we do, we either bring out something new or it will add to something existing. Let me just give you an example now. in most Nigerian university, they publish some research that help, like they publish research that help us to understand the rate of inflation in Nigeria, poverty rate in Nigeria, corruption, what caused corruption in Nigeria. These are things we know. We know what caused corruption in Nigeria. We know what caused crime rate in Nigeria. But they still, up to today, people still publish research on these topics because they tend to add knowledge to it. As we were talking now, that the relationship between crime rate and poverty. Someone mentioned here that people from the rich family also still. So this is part of it. It's hard to knowledge that maybe before they don't know that people from rich families steal, but this research also adds to it that, oh, there are some people, they are rich, but they still steal. So it's hard to knowledge. That's the number one important thing. Number two important thing is improve practice. It improves practice. You see, teachers, health workers, civil servants, name it, in all companies, you understand, can improve their work through research. Understand? They can improve their work through research. Today, in some, today they are, I think I read something last week whereby I think it's not maybe Kaduna or Kano. They mentioned in their house that they want to establish a system whereby they will be teaching the student in Hausa language. Understand? Some people might be against them, but to be sincere, it's a research that brought them to this conclusion. Because they believe that Hausa language is a mother language. So if they teach them with Hausa language, they will easily understand. So it's research that will bring you to that conclusion. And so the same thing applicable to doctors. Doctor will make research. Civil servant will make research about their work. So the research they make will make them to improve their work, their practice. You understand? The number three is it helps us to inform or to make policies. It helps us to inform or make policies. You see, government agency, either from the local government, the state government, or the federal government, will do research in anything they do. Because if you don't do research, you will be leading your people astray. You'll be guessing all in. You will not have facts and figures. So before you make decision, before you make law, you have to make research. That is why in the House of Senate or House of Rep, you will see that they have committees for committees on immigration, committees on finance, committees on diplomatic relations. Listen, they have different committees in each House of Assembly, House of Rep, because these committees, they make research on particular assignment that the House give them. If you are not part of the committee, you will not be able to answer some questions in the committee. You can only guess, but they will give you facts and figures of what is happening. Am I communicating?
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Yeah, you can ask your question.
Considering the Nigerian system of policy, can we say that they actually give informed policy or make informed decision based on research, considering the type of policies put in place? Can we come to conclusion that they actually take the decision based on informed or take the informed decision based on research? Can we convince in saying that?
Thank you very much. See, they make research to make decision. Understand? I've given an example of, I'm not sure, but whether it's Kano or Kaduna, that they said they want to make sure that they will be teaching students in Hausa language. Understand? Which, if you ask me that, what's my opinion regarding it, I will say I'm okay with it. Understand? I will say I'm okay with it because it's a mother language, it's a mother tongue, it's a first language. Understand? So that decision was made in the House of, understand, State House of Assembly. So before they make that decision, they make research regarding that one. The reason why we have different committees in House of Assembly, House of Senate, or Rep, and the like, the reason why we have different committees is because these committees are giving tasks to make research on particular policies. And they bring their solution, their resolution to the House and discuss about it. So I'll say yes to your answer. Yes, unless another person have a different opinion, but I'll say yes to your answer. Yes, so if anyone have a different opinion regarding what I say, you can mention. But in case you don't have a different opinion, we can move forward. Yes, now we'll talk about types of research. Yes, type of research. Yes, so the types of research is on 5 different pillars. Let me just put it like that. It's on 5 different pillars, and each pillars have some branches. Each pillars have some types. Yeah, it's on 5 different pillars, and each pillars have some types. They can ask you in an examination that what are the types of research? That question, not trap. It's a trap question. It's a trap question. Because some people might say quantitative research, qualitative research, and the likes. But whereas this question is trap. Listen, so it can be grouped, the type of research can be grouped under 5 pillars. It can be grouped under 5 pillars. The number 1 is research based on purpose. There are some research that are based on purpose. What are the purpose of doing this research? That's number 1. You see, under this research based on purpose, we have 2 branches. We will discuss about it, but we'll just list out the pillars first. Then I'll take them one after the other. So the number 1 is research based on purpose, while the number 2 is research based on objectives. Research based on objectives. You see, when you open your handout, you will see what is objective of this module. You will see it in your handout, because they believe that after reading this module or after reading this handout, these are the objectives. This is what the lecturer wants you to understand. So research based on objectives. We have under this one also, we have some branch, we have some types. You understand? And the third one is research based on inquiry. Method of inquiry. Research based on method of inquiry. That is under it is under that one we see the qualitative, quantitative, and the likes, but I'll come to that side and we'll explain. Understand? So another one is normal and revolutionary research. That's number 4. Normal and revolutionary research. Normal and revolutionary research. Normal and revolutionary research. And the 5th one is research involving human being. Research involving human being or human. So,
so the 5th one is what?
Research involving human, like human being. Can I proceed?
Yes.
Now, let's take research on purpose, research based on purpose. Research based on purpose is divided into 2. Research based on purpose is divided into 2. We have the pure research and the applied research. The pure research and the applied research.
Can you please take that again?
So the research based on purpose is divided into 2.
Okay.
We have the pure research and the applied research.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. Now, someone want to speak? Can I read?
Yes.
Okay. So now, what is pure research? When we say a research is pure, what is pure research? So this is a type of research conducted to expand theoretical knowledge. This is a type of research conducted to expand theoretical knowledge without immediate practical use. This is the type of research.
Sorry, though. Akanji, please, I have a question.
Yeah.
Evening. Okay, so I just wanted to ask. You were saying something about the types of research, and you gave us these 5. Are these the 5 types of research, not the qualitative or the quantitative?
So these I mentioned that the types of research are under 5 pillars. On each of the pillars, they have some branch. There are some categories. Understand?
Yes.
So under the categories, that is where one of the categories we will mention the qualitative and the quantitative.
Oh, okay. So those are just under the sub.
Yes. But we'll get to that part where we'll mention in one of the pillars, we'll mention the quantitative and the qualitative.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. So the pure research, I was saying that the pure research is this kind of research that is conducted to expand theoretical knowledge without a practical use. Without immediate practical use. Now, let me just give you an example now. Since 2023, that Tinubu took over power, he asked all the ambassadors in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, Nigerian ambassadors that are outside Nigeria, all of them, he asked them to come back home. So over 100 ambassadors come back to Nigeria. So we don't have ambassadors outside Nigeria at the moment. We don't have ambassadors in Nigeria at the moment. Since 2023, September 2023, that he asked all of them to come back home. Now, you as a research student or you as a student studying international affairs and diplomacy, you can try to do your own research on the effect on the ambassadorial vacancies of Nigeria ambassadors outside Nigeria on Nigeria diplomatic affairs globally. You know, we don't have ambassadors. We only have our embassies open, but we don't have ambassadors representing us in each of the countries. So what is that effect? The result you will get will be added to some knowledge that has been existing. But that knowledge, that result you get cannot be used practically immediately. The same thing is applicable to all the assignment the lecturers will give you. The lecturer will give us the assignment, we submit to the lecturer, not that we are applying it immediately. We are just giving the assignment to add to existing knowledge. That's a pure research. Now, the second one is the opposite of the pure research. Even without explaining it, you should be able to have an idea. So the applied research on its own part, it is done to solve problem, practical problem. The applied research is done to solve practical problem. You understand? Now, let me just give you the example of Lagos now.
Sorry, please, I hope it's being recorded.
It's recorded. Yeah. So let me give you an example of Lagos State now. So the governor can do the, why is that there is too much traffic in Lagos? For him to get his results, he must pass through systematic approach by asking drivers and road users, Okada riders, people, pedestrian, motor rider, anything, your road user, you must pass through systematic approach to ask them, because they will be able to tell them what they are facing on the road. You understand? So what the result they are telling him will now determine whether he should do overhead bridge. Maybe if you do overhead bridge, some people will pass down, some people will pass up. It will solve the problem. So applied research helps us to solve a practical problem. If I have to go from Abuja to Kaduna, I have to use like 6 hours, 7 hours by road. I have to do a research. Why can't I use like 3 hours or 2 hours? Maybe the road is bad. That is where the governor or the government will now come up with, let us do road in this area. Because if you do road in this area, it will help farmers, it will help motorizer and the like. So the applied research helps us to solve practical problems, like give solution to problems. Understand? this is under the research based on purpose. Am I communicating?
Sure.
Can I
Proceed.
thank you. I think someone on mic and the mic is making a noise. I don't know if it's Judith, but someone, okay, it's good now. Now, the second pillars of research we've mentioned now is the research based on objectives. Research based on objectives. That is research that are based on the aims. What are the aims of this research? There are some research that are based on objective. What do you want to infer? All your handouts, if you open your handout, you will see a place. Before you start reading your handout, you say the objectives of these modules is to do so things. There is objectives there. Because those people that pen that handout, they want you to infer something at the end. Why? After reading it, they want you to gain something. So they put that objective at the beginning. So research based on objective. The research based on objective is divided into 4. It has 4 types. The research based on objective has 4 types. Understand? The number 1 type is descriptive research. Descriptive research. Like this, that is to say, to describe. Descriptive research. There's a transcription down. If you look at the screen, there's a transcription. You can see the correct spelling in case you want to ask for the correct spelling. So descriptive research, that is to describe something. That's one type of research under objective. So the number two is correlating research. Correlating research or research. Is that a correlational or correlating research? Correlational or correlating research? Can I proceed?
Sure.
Okay. The number 3 is explanatory research. Explanatory research. Like explain. Explanatory research. Why the last one under this is exploratory research, like explore. Exploratory research, like to explore. Exploratory research. So these 4 types is under the objective, research based on objectives. It is under research based on objectives. Now, we will explain them one after the other for you to understand them. Can we move forward?
Yes, please.
What is it?
Can you repeat the second one? Something disrupted my network.
Correlational or correlating research. Correlational research.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Can we move forward? I need an affirmation before we move forward.
Yes.
Move forward, please.
Thank you very much. We will explain them one after the other. Be mindful, they are under research that are based on objectives. You understand? So now we take number 1, descriptive research. Without even telling you the meaning of descriptive research, by taking the word descriptive, it means to describe. So when a research is descriptive, it makes emphasis to describe a situation. Understand? To describe a situation. Let me just give you an example now. Describing the condition of internally displaced people in Borno Some people had issue due to the crisis, due to terrorist attack and the lies. So they are no more living in the house. They are living somewhere where the government put them. So describe the condition, the living condition of internally displaced people in Borno camp. So if you want to describe, you need to be there with them. You need to live, you need to sleep with them in that place. Understand? Because you need to witness it. If you don't witness, you cannot just guess and just give an answer. So this kind of research describe things as it is without hiding it.
Hello? Can we say that descriptive research is like a participant observation?
Thank you very much. The participant observation, you employ the techniques of participant observation because you have to be there to see what is going on. Because without being there, you cannot describe what is going on. So that's number one. The number two is the correlational or correlating research. The same thing applicable to this one. Even without knowing the definition of correlational research, you look at the word correlating, correlational. Correlational. So correlational research shows the relationship between something. It shows the relationship between something. How do they correlate together? Let me just give you an example now. Let's investigate the level of unemployment. Is the level of employment in Nigeria related to the crime rate in Nigeria? Or the level of employment in Nigeria related to the level of illiteracy in Nigeria? How do they correlate together? Listen. So the correlational research try to see two two hypotheses, two ideas, and put it side by side.
Yes.
Now ask ourselves, do they correlate together? If they correlate, how? Why? How can we differentiate them? Or how can we find a solution to come out to a conclusion? You understand? This is about the correlational research. The third one is what? Can anyone tell me the third one? Explanatory research. The same thing applicable to this without even knowing the meaning. Explanatory means to explain. Understand? So the explanatory research, this is the type of research that explains why a relationship exists, why something exists. Let me just give you an example now. Why is it that some states in Nigeria have higher voter turnout than other states that they have same social economic condition? Some states in Nigeria have higher voters turnout than some other states, but those other states, they have the same socio-economic condition. You know, when there's election now, you will see in most part of the north, the voters turnout is very high. When they calculate everything, the voters turnout is high than some part of the north. So you now ask yourself, why is it that? Understand? So the explanatory research will explain why a relationship exists. It explains why a relationship exists, like the example I gave you now. Can I move forward?
Yes.
Thank you. The last one in this under this research based on objectives is what? Can anyone tell me?
Exploratory.
Exploratory. So exploratory means to explore, to look for something that's not existing. So this type of research investigates areas with little prior knowledge. It investigates area with little prior knowledge to explore something that is not existing or something that exists, but people are not talking about it. You know, people talk about unemployment, poverty, inflation, but there are some topics that people don't talk about it every day as they talk about all these things. So let me just give an example now. You know, nowadays, there is artificial intelligence. So you can be asked to exploring how artificial intelligence is being adopted by Nigerian business. How Nigerian business are using AI to improve their activities. So this question, how Nigerian businesses are using artificial intelligence to improve their businesses, this question is part of the explanatory research question. Because you want to explore, you want to know if Nigerian business, abroad they are using it, but in Nigeria, are they using it? You understand? So that is the exploratory research. So what you just have to note is that most research combine two or more objectives. Understand? Most research, they combine two or more objectives. A research can be explanatory, exploratory, descriptive. Understand? They can combine two or more to come to a conclusion. Am I communicating?
Yeah.
Can we move forward?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. So the third one in the pillar, can anyone remind me the third one in the pillar?
Research based on method inquiry.
Based on method
Research
on
based on
inquiry.
inquiry.
Method of inquiry. Under research based on method, we have two types. The number one is the structured approach type, while the number two is unstructured approach type. Under this based on inquiry, number one is structured approach type, while the second is unstructured approach type. So the structured approach type is also known as qualitative approach. Sorry, the structure is known as quantitative approach. Quantitative approach. Structured is known as the quantitative approach type.
Quantitative.
Yeah, quantitative approach.
Quantitative, okay.
Yeah. While the unstructured is known as the qualitative approach type. So in case you see anywhere they mention structured approach, they make reference to quantitative. Unstructured, they make reference to qualitative. Explain the two. We will explain these two together now. Let me know if you are ready.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Let's take structured approach. This structured approach is under the research based on method of inquiry. You understand? So let's take the structured approach. The structured approach is the kind of research that is planned in advance. This is the kind of research that is planned in advance. It uses numbers. Because it uses numbers, measurement, and statistical tools. Let me just give you an example. The Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, sometimes they come up with the percentage of poverty in Nigeria, poverty rate in Nigeria. You'll be wondering that how did they know that the poverty rate in Nigeria is like more than 50%, more than 50% of Nigeria, they are poor. How did they come with or the inflation rate in Nigeria? How did they come with this percentage? You'll be wondering that how did they come with this percentage? Inflation in Nigeria is like 70%. Like today you buy rice at 100,000. Tomorrow you might go to the market now. It will change to 110,000. It has increased by 10,000. So how do they come up with these numbers? Understand? So it's because they have to go through collecting data, numbers using statistical tools. So the quantitative type talks about numbers. Why the qualitative on its own doesn't talk about numbers, it talks about the feelings. Now we talk about the second, let's talk about the second one for us to understand. So the second one is unstructured approach, which is also known as the qualitative. It can also be attached as qualitative approach, unstructured approach. The unstructured approach is the kind of research that is flexible. You don't need to use statistical tools for this one. You understand? It is flexible. Because, and it is flexible and it helps us to seek, to understand human experience or feelings or behavior. It helps us to understand human feeling, experience, or behavior, or the meaning of something. So, the first one, you will need to use some tools. You understand? So you need to use some tools to get that one. That second one, that one is easier to get. Understand? That second one, through interview, you can go to this, you can go like interview people, you can interview like 20 people and gather their information. That's the second one. You understand? That one is easy to do. But this first one, you have to go through survey. The structured approach, you have to go through survey. But what the unstructured one is interviews. You understand? You can interview 20 people or 50, 100 people. That is easy to do. But the survey part, you have to plan the survey. You have to do it on paper, plan it, submit it to them, those people that will answer your survey. You understand? Now, let me just give you an example of unstructured approach, for instance, now. So, someone a research student can try to determine how do they settle community clash in some part of the North. And so, like, how do they settle community clash? If you are not with them, you will not understand how they settle their fight. Understand? So you have to be there with them to know how they settle their fight. So that one, you need to ask questions. You need to interview some people, understand. Maybe you interview the leaders, you interview those people that usually fight to know how they settle the fight among themselves. So that is the unstructured one. You don't need to pass through many corners before you get the answers. Am I communicating? So both structured and unstructured are valid type of research. Sometimes in your research work, you can use the two. Understand? You can use the two to come to a conclusion. Understand? Can we move forward?
Yes, but I have let's call a question.
Okay.
I have a feeling that the structure, the structure will be more accurate. That's the one you use this survey and
tools
than the unstructured because of human bias.
Yes,
it's a personal feeling.
Yes, because of human bias. You see, no research is 100% accurate because it involves human being. You understand? No research is 100%. That is what if a research is 100% accurate, that means that there will not be an additional knowledge be added to it. You understand? So, but people, in some field, they will prefer to use the structured one, depending on your research topic. Depending on your research topic. Your research topic will determine what you want to use. I remember one group assignment they gave us, I think it's 805. I think 805 area study. I think they give one. So it's a group assignment, and I did the assignment for the class, and I told them in my group that, see, guys, it's better we use the qualitative research method to solve this one. Because if we use the quantitative, the lecturer might be asking questions or might be giving us wrong mark, because the quantitative one we does many things, but the qualitative one will not stress ourselves. So if we decide that you want to employ the quantitative approach, that you have your facts and figures. But if it's qualitative, it's easier to just find your answers. Even from online, it's easier to get your answers. Understand? So that is my own. Now the next thing to do, what is the next what's the next pillar?
Normal and revolutionary research.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is it normal or revolutionary
No,
or normal
revolutionary research.
and revolutionary?
The number one is normal research. When we say research, normal. Understand? And we say research is revolutionary. One is normal, one is revolutionary. So when a research is normal, it's the kind of research that follows available guidelines. This is the kind of research that follows available guidelines. So you see, when you do your research, you have your abstract, you have introduction till conclusion, till recommendation and reference. We already know that guidelines. Listen. But there are kind of on the opposite side, the revolutionary one, they want to scatter everything. That why must we go like this? Why not go like this? Let me just give you an example of a research that is revolutionary. In Nigeria, we practice democracy. In the UK that I have, we practice democracy also. But why is it that the democracy we are practicing in the UK is different from the democracy we are practicing in Nigeria? You understand? Because in the 1980s, the researchers in Nigeria, they brought up a different kind of democracy that is different from what the white man brought to them. Listen, you change a pattern. Instead, maybe they ask you to work like this, you change that pattern. Well, why must we work like this? Why can't we work like this? Listen, so there is a proverb in Yoruba, they say, when you use the wrapper, if it's either you turn yourself on wrapper or you use your hand to turn the wrapper, at least the wrapper should just cover you. So it's either you use your hand to cover the wrapper or you hold yourself down so the wrapper will cover you. Both methods is still solving, but the other method is that we must do this thing like this. Why not we doing like this? That is the word revolution. Revolution is we change the method of working. Don't let us work like this. Let us work like that. While the other one, the normal research is we follow the normal procedure that is in the research. You start from your abstract introduction, or you start from introduction, abstract, you get your conclusion, your recommendation, the likes. Am I communicating?
Sure.
Okay.
So that one is
this type of research. So it doesn't have the branches that branches is just the normal and the revolutionary.
Yeah, it just have its own concept on its own.
Yes. Okay.
Is there any other question before we move forward? Can I move forward?
Yes.
What is the next thing?
Yes.
Research involving human.
The research involving human.
So the research involving human is divided into two also.
I didn't know. Can you talk about the revolutionary again? Sorry.
Can anyone explain for her? We are here to learn together. So can anyone explain based on what I have explained?
Okay. I think I can try.
Yeah, you can try.
So the revolutionary research are just opposites of the normal research. The revolutionary does not follow the status quo. They want to invent their own method of research by not following laid down procedures. They want, it may be upside down, it may be sideways. The major thing is that they still have the result of their research, but they doesn't follow the status quo. They try to invent their own way of getting to the end of the research.
They challenge existing procedure.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we move forward now? What is the next thing we need to talk about now? The research involving
human.
So the research is divided into two. Understand? We have the therapeutic research and the non-therapeutic research. Like therapy, therapy.
From therapy, yes. So that's what I wanted to ask. From therapy.
Yeah, from therapy. So we have the therapeutic and the non-therapeutic research. So the number one thing is the therapeutic research. The participants may directly benefit in such research. In therapeutic research, the participants may directly benefit in such research. Sometimes in some hospitals in Nigeria, they do what they call clinical drug trial, but they will not let you know. They are doing they are trying something, but they will not say it is free of charge. Come and treat yourself. They are trying it. It's just they are trying something, but they will not let you know. You understand? Sometimes they will say, those people that have cataract, they should come. They want to treat cataract for them for free. Maybe they are the new doctors that just graduate from university. They'll push them, come and do operation for people eyes, cataract. They are doing research if they can see if these people can do it well for them. So those people that come, they are the ones that, like, they are the participants. They are the ones that will determine if the student they are teaching in school, they are just university, whether they have the power to operate people's eyes and successfully done. So it's 50-50 sometimes. You understand? So I remember there is one politician, I won't mention name. So she came to the UK and we have to meet for our eye operation. And I asked her, why can't you do it in your state? She said, in many cases, that she has seen cases of people whereby they do the operation for them in Nigeria and they don't see again. So that's why she have to leave Nigeria and come to the UK. Because those people that would do for them, they are just people that just graduate from school. And they want to see if they can do it. And they will do it for free. So the therapeutic one, the participant will directly benefit from it. While the non-therapeutic one, the participant do not benefit directly, but their input benefits society. Their input, their decision, or their suggestion benefit society. Sorry. So the input benefits society, such as social opinion. Sometimes we have what we call political opinion. Understand? So
Sir,
what that
again?
should I go? Which one? Is it the non-therapeutic or the therapeutic?
The non-therapeutic.
So the non-therapeutic, I said the participants do not benefit directly, but their input or their suggestion or opinion benefit the society. You understand? Let me just give you an example now. Let's imagine that as Wike is taking lands he's taking some land that is belong to the federal government and the likes. So you see, you can try to do your research by trying to see, okay, is what he's doing right under the law or not? Yeah, so if you are doing your research, you go and meet those that sell lands or the landowners or the landlords in Abuja. You talk with them, you do your research with them. The research you have might not benefit to one person, but might benefit to, the result will benefit to the whole people living in Abuja. Right. You understand now? So that's a non-therapeutic type of research. So it is not benefiting to one person, but it can benefit the society at large. Understand? So, am I communicating?
Sure.
Can I move forward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, I want to go back to the qualitative and quantitative research. I want to talk about it again. So because that one is very, very common, even in all assignments that we do. I don't know about you, but most of my assignment I use this method a lot. And so it's very common because there is no way you do your project or you do your thesis that you will not use this. So now let's talk about quantitative. Quantitative, you see, quantity. Quantitative research. So this deal with numbers. Let me break it down like this. It deals with numbers. It answers the question, how much or how many. It answers the question, how much or how many. So this kind of research, it deals with quantity. Now, let's take an example. Let's take an example of the percentage of Nigerians supporting the removal of fuel subsidies. This kind of research, it is quantitative. You understand now? The percentage of Nigeria supporting the removal of fuel subsidies. This type of research is quantitative. You get? Because as it is now, some people want Tinubu to remove fuel subsidies. Some people want him to leave it. You understand now? So you can do your research on that to know the percentage of people that oppose this motion. So that is quantitative. On the other hand, the qualitative type of research, this deal with words and meaning. You understand? That one is not numbers. It deal with words and meaning. Now, it explore why and how. You can ask yourself, why is this thing happening like this? Or how is it happening like this? Let me just give an example. You can interview, how do you call it? Why is it that people support or oppose the removal of fuel subsidy? You understand? You know, the quantitative will tell us that the percentage of people that support or the percentage of people that oppose. But the other one, the qualitative will tell us that why do they oppose and why do they support? Am I communicating?
Sure.
Yeah.
Both qualitative and quantitative complement each other. Researchers, I can say more than 50% of researchers use the two together in their research work. Yes, and sometimes if you put your tables, your numbers, you need to explain those numbers you put because some people might not understand the numbers you put. So if you put it in quantitative, you must come and explain to us in qualitative way. You understand? So am I coming?
Sure.
So on the same quantitative and qualitative, we will talk about the nature of quantitative research and the nature of qualitative research. Listen, how do they look like? Even without even talking more, even if they ask you in an exam, you should be able to, with this little explanation, you should be able to write like 5 lines or 4 lines and give them. You understand? So the most interesting part in the exam is one question they will ask you is 12.5 mark. So if you answer, you just my advice, answer all. Either you answer it right or wrong, answer all. You might get 2 points, you might get 3 points. It's better than getting 0. Yes, and that is my own technique. You answer all. Either it is wrong, either it is right, answer all. The lecturer can say, okay, well, you just try to give your idea. Let me just give it 2. That 2 is better than getting 0. Maybe that 2 will be the one that will save you. Yes, sir. So now let's talk about the nature. I was on the nature of quantitative and qualitative research. So I said qualitative research on its own part focuses on understanding why people behave or think. You want to say something?
No.
Okay. So I was saying the qualitative research focuses on understanding why people behave or think as they do. The It focuses on understanding why people behave or think as they do, because it explores feeling. It explores people's feelings. Understand? Experience and meaning. You get me? It explores feeling, experience, and meaning. Now, let me just give you an example now.
Can you say that again? Network.
Okay. I said the qualitative research focuses on understanding why people behave or think as they do. Why they think or behave as they do, because this one focuses on the feelings of people, the experiences of people, and the meaning of people. Like the meaning, what they mean by what the action mean. Now let me just give you an example now. So you as a researcher, you can study why is it that most Nigerians japa to their abroad. Why is it that we Nigeria, we leave Nigeria and come to the UK? You understand? So
you should answer that for us.
What?
You that in UK, you should answer it.
My own case is different. No, my own case is different. Me, I was not born in Nigeria. I was born in Ivory Coast. So my own case is different. I grew up outside Nigeria. I live my life outside Nigeria. So I just decided to explore to come to the UK. I'm coming back to Nigeria. Get me work in Nigeria, I will come to Nigeria. If you get me work, I will come.
Okay.
Get me work.
All right, be working there first.
Work, I'll come. I'm tired of UK because it's too cold. Understand? It's too cold in the UK, so I'm tired. I'm not the kind of cold person. I'm tired of this. So let's go back. So if you want to study why people jackpot, why people travel out to the UK or abroad, that is the qualitative one, because you want to know their experience, their feeling. Maybe it's something that pushed them. Some people is unemployment that pushed them to come to the UK. Some people is a poor salary system. Some people is everyone has his own reason, but your research will determine. That is why sometimes in research you have many points, understand? And after your point, you now come to a conclusion and give a recommendation. Like, okay, Tinubu, let's stop Nigeria to jackpot to UK again. No, this is our recommendation. Let's increase salary. Let's give better living people and the likes. Understand? So that's about the qualitative one. Now, the quantitative one, this focuses on measurement. Understand? It collects data that can be expressed numerically. It collects data that can be expressed numerically. That is number. So anything quantitative, number. It has to have number inside. Understand? It has number, it has graph. You understand? The dot graph. You see some work, you just see some picture, you just be under, you asking yourself, what is all this thing? It has some meaning. Understand? So let me just give you an example on this one now. The National Statistics Bureau of Nigeria, they might try to do a research on 10,000 Nigeria to understand what is the percentage or the level of unemployment in Nigeria. Understand? So they will measure some things. Understand? They will take numbers of people, like the number of people with 10,000 people. That is a number. You take their age range, maybe 18 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 35. How many people in that age range are unemployed? You now take male, how many male, how many females? So you know this thing is a number, you are taking numbers. Understand? How many female are employed in this category? How many male are employed in this category? Understand? So the quantitative, in short, it deals with numbers. I think I've explained the quantitative and the qualitative, extensively, but as a good researcher, you must combine these two types. You must combine these two together. Understand? But you see, sometimes you might concentrate more on qualitative, and the quantitative might not be too much in your work, but you must combine to have good results. You understand? So we move forward. Can we move forward? If you have questions, you can ask questions before I move forward.
Thank you very much, Akanji. Well, I have a class now, 7 o'clock. So I guess I will listen to the remaining part.
I think do other people also have class? Let me know, so that if I need to stop, I will stop.
I also have a class.
Yes, I also have a class.
I also have a class myself.
You have a class. What I will do is I'll just give an assignment.
I also have a class, please.
I will give you an assignment. The assignment is go and study the ethical.
I didn't get that, please.
The line is breaking, please.
So the assignment I want to give is go and study the ethical. Hello, can you hear me?
No.
Go and study what?
Ethical issues in research.
Ethical issues. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Could you kindly
Did you say technical or ethical?
Ethical. I think he said ethical issues in research.
Ethical issues. Okay, thank you. Ethical issues
in research.
Hello, Akanji. Could you please type the assignment?
I can't hear. Can anyone hear?
Could you type it in the chat box so that we'll all get it at once?
I will type it there. So that one is going to be our next class in 801. So that is the last section in module 1. We've treated module 1, section 1, section 2, section 3, and the last section, which is the ethical issues in research. Yes, and that is the last one. So you try to read it, and in our next session on it, we'll discuss about it.
Okay, so when is the next class?
I'll communicate that in the group.
All right.
Thank you very much. God bless
What
you.
class are you all having now?
Honestly, appreciate it.
Foreign policy.
Thank you. So we'll be waiting for the video version of it.
Sure.
Yes.
All right.
Akanji, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Akanji, can you please hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. I was asking if you could maybe drop the question in the chat so that I will get it. The network is a bit crazy here.
Oh, thank you very much.
Or maybe on the WhatsApp to anyone.
Sure, I'll drop in the WhatsApp.
Sorry, please. What is the name of the tutor taking the foreign policy?
We have two foreign policy.
For me, it's Sunday. For me, it's Sunday Adejo, Dr. Sunday Adejo.
Is that the one you're having now?
By 8.
I don't have class. I don't have class this night, so I don't know which class they have.
Okay, mine is Sunday Adejo.
That is by 8.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I don't have a class. I was just panicking. I thought I did.
No, it's tomorrow. We have our own tomorrow.
Sunday Adejo is by 8.
Yes, Sunday Adejo is by 8.
Yes, 8:07.
Yeah.
So,
all right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. So
thank you, Akanji. We are very grateful. We appreciate.
It's a pleasure. Can I end the session?
Sure.
Thank you.